For those interested in the role of Fike Services Technician, let's discuss how things explode first. What we focus on is primarily gas and dust explosions, with dust explosions making up the large majority of what we're protecting. And how dust explodes is that very, very fine particulate is suspended in air, and in the presence of the right concentration, and it's contained in an enclosure, so a dust collector or a silo or whatever, in the presence of an ignition of that dust cloud, it starts what's called a deflagration. And a deflagration is the initial stages of an explosion before it detonates. And what our systems do, and what this Fike service technician would be doing, is servicing and commissioning these active systems, active suppression systems, with their goal of suppressing an explosion, a deflagration, before it has a chance to reach detonation. What sort of role will this field service technician do?
So we're servicing all the equipment that we're selling to prevent those explosions, as you described. We go and actually work on the equipment, make sure that it's maintained, and it's going to react when it's called upon.
Who are you looking for? Tell me who the profile is, that somebody that you're looking for.
So the people that would excel in something like this, are electrically inclined, mechanically inclined. We often find people from the auto industry or the HVAC industry. Those seem to be like that group of people that know how to read the electrical blueprints and have worked with their hands, have things, installed their own car stereos, things like that. Yeah. Those groups of people that have just learned through experience. Those have been the candidates that have started and really excelled in their roles.
Technical people that have the ability to work with their hands, not necessarily professionally trained, but some people with mechanical aptitude that you can be like, hey, this wire needs to go here, for example.
Right.
So describe to me what the initial role that you're thinking this person would be good for, and then how you see it transpiring after that, like career-wise, trajectory-wise.
Gotcha. So we're looking for guys that can do some preventative maintenance things. That's the key starting position.
Okay.
And
is it a trainee? Is that who
trainee,
it is first?
Yep.
Okay. You start in as what would the role be called?
You'd be a explosion protection field service trainee.
Got it.
So you start as a trainee, and not to say that we don't take on guys that have 20 years experience.
Right.
We love those guys.
Those are good ones.
Yeah. So, we're looking at the trainees, and we're bringing them on to do preventative maintenance, go out and just do what's required by NFPA, and that's quarterly maintenance of the equipment. So we go on site, we test it to make sure that it's going to function, because something that we will want to dig on here is what are we working on, and that's essentially, it's life safety equipment.
That's right.
And you're the professional there. I'll let you elaborate further on exactly how it works and why we've got it. But for my team, the idea is when we're going out there, they're relying on us to make sure that their equipment is going to work when called upon.
That's right.
If called upon. So it's extremely important that we take the time to make sure that we do our work properly and safely, cleanly, and that way, when it's called upon, it's there.
And that's what the trainee role is just to kind of understand the magnitude of what these systems do and how to do them right, and then you build them up from there, right?
Right.
So let's say that you've got a trainee that's a really great person, wants to do a great job, takes accountability, which is everything that we dream of, right? What's the next step for someone like that?
the sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
The exciting things that Fike has got going on, and the things that we've done in the last 5 years. We started this 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, but it was a real slow. Is this where we want to go? 5 years ago, I would say, is the official start, and we've got guys that have moved into sales, into project management, and where I want to keep guys is in the service and to become, higher level skilled technicians that are doing the more difficult things.
Higher profile,
Right.
more difficult, more challenging.
Right. And you're taking on that customer interface directly.
Yes.
And working with them so, our sales guys can focus on sales, and our service guys are there to knock out the service and make sure that all the equipment's up and going. So what I want to see is everybody evolve into one. First, you learn where you want to go, and is this right for me? Is this traveling and servicing, hands-on, the weather, the indoors, outdoors, the clean facilities, the dirty facilities, extremely dirty facilities. Is that right for me? And some people they really thrive in that. And when you do, then it's, let's move you to the next step. Now you're a senior technician, and you've got other technicians that are under your leadership and following up with that. But we don't want to confine anybody to, you're just going to be a technician for the next 20 years of your life. That's not what we're about. We want them to be able to know that they can transition into those sales roles or business development roles, or the opportunities that are coming up at Fike. There's so many different things that the sky is the limit.
That is true. I find this role to be pivotal developmentally and professionally for a couple reasons, but the first one being, after you kind of have your bearings and understand and have the trainee level, have level 1, perhaps level 2, you really start to understand our organization as a whole. And then that allows you, it gives you the tools and the knowledge to be able to really do whatever the heck you want within the organization. Is it project management? Is it business development? Is it, hell, it could be operations downstairs. It could be you could be testing facility. It could be really anything after you have that preliminary knowledge that you gain on this initial role. And I think that's like, as we scale as an organization, and as we get bigger, and as we get into more challenging things and different things, because Fike is always evolving. We talked about that. That's the people that we're looking for to be able to flourish in those type of positions that can be moving within the organization and confidently, and not someone that's just got hired off the street or whatever like that. That's not really who we're looking for. So I don't want to say it's a developmental role, but it's a role that will arm you the fastest to be able to move wherever you want sooner.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's for the technician type people.
Yeah.
This is a great beginning role.
Yeah.
One, I never want to sell to another company, organization, or industry. But you're going to learn electrical, you're going to learn mechanical.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of tools here that, allow you to grow within the organization. And sometimes, as we know, within the organization is not always where they grow, but they got the skills they needed to grow as a individual.
Ooh, yes.
That is a key, giving them the tools to develop themselves.
Yes.
So
I think you're going, and I think we're on the same wavelength here, because I think what you're getting at is that not only gives you mentioned tools and skills, it not only gives you physical and knowledgeable skills, but it gives you soft skills too, because, for a technician, a lot of times you're at the front line of maybe you're delivering not great news to a customer or something like that. Those skills are invaluable whenever you're learning professionally how to navigate your life. So if you're not given those instances, you're not given the opportunity to be able to handle that with tact, or or speak knowledgeably and professionally at, and, keep your voice level down and deliver like tactful information. And it's not always great news. Sometimes it's high five. Everybody's excited. But being a technician like this, you're kind of the first guy to deliver that news. Yes, you're calling Chad, you're calling whomever, but those skills are such an asset for someone that's coming up wanting to be able to be a business professional, is to have those kind of conversations. Something that I wish I would have had sooner. But man, nowadays you can get it fast in that technician role.
Yep. And it's like you said, you learn those soft skills, you learn the electrical, the mechanical, and that is key to development. So you've taken the long route here at Fike, and you learned everything the hard way, like just the brutalness day to day. Where as a technician, they were hands on, deep in it, and they were able to excel a little bit quicker in some of the explosion protection industry. So, it's a great beginning point within the organization itself. It's not where I started, but
no,
it's where I'm excelling.
Could you describe what sort of travel this technician role would require in the first 90 to 180 days, and then what that looks like after that fact?
Yeah. So something that we kind of discussed on a little bit was that some of it's sporadic, right, at the customer's discretion, but the first 60 days, 90 days, whatever it may be, you're going to be shadowing and learning with a senior technician. So that is likely Monday through Friday. You're going to be out of town Monday through Thursday. Friday's usually a travel day. Monday's usually a travel day. And it's a 5-day out of town work week, and usually that's going to go on for the first 6 months probably, and grow from there.
Chad, there's got to be, we talked about a little bit of pros and cons, but one of the pros, I imagine, would probably be that you have a work truck, you are paid overtime for travel time. Like, tell me what that sort of like, what that looks like in terms of what a technician could earn, at least at the beginning and maybe towards the end too.
Yeah, so I'll be the first to say for the technicians, the guys that are out in the field, it's a very financially rewarding role. You're going to be compensated for that time away from home. So that's certainly a big benefit. Why do we all come to work every day? That's right. To make money. So that's always a huge benefit. Then the work vehicle, we let everybody take those home every night. It's not a vacation vehicle, but we don't require you to bring it back to the company every day and then drive to work. So you've got those gas, insurance, and things. Some people now they just have to have their wife's car or their husband's car instead of having multiple vehicles. So there's little benefits like that, and then with the organization comes the benefits that all Fike employees get also, the profit shares and, other just benefits of a family-owned company.
The whole reason of us trying to focus on a customer is trying to get in their heads and get in their shoes and feel their pain. And part of the pain that has been felt in the past by them is that I just need to call somebody, man. I'm not an expert in explosions. Who can I call that can take care of this for me? Because I'm a plant engineer at XYZ company and I don't have time to deal with explosions. I've got product I need to get out the door. And so we put ourselves in those people's shoes, and they want to call someone and have boots on the ground and be able to commission their life safety system, and with the peace of mind that I called, it's done, the guy's going to be here tomorrow, thank God. Like that's why we're all kind of working, and we're also passionate about taking care of these people, is because that's how we want to be treated. So the whole technician role is kind of all of that rolled into one figure. And that's why it's so important and why we're always after people like this and people that are accountable and want to learn, is because that's how all we are.
And our mission is to provide the best service possible, to make that user experience where they say, you know, that was well worth the money that we spent to get this equipment, and now we know that our employees are going home safe at night.
That's right.
So, you know, it's great to work hand in hand.